Okay, we're going to be bending a cutaway. Now, it doesn't matter what the wood is, you have to remember that the cutaway, and that's going to be on the treble side, you need this little bit of a hump. Because that's going to be for in the back, when the cutaway comes back into the radius, you need that high spot. So I've basically taken the standard side, and you can see I put a nice little hump here, maybe about a 3/8 of an inch hump. Okay, so for a cutaway, remember that. Also, remember this when you put it into the bending machine. If you're going to do a right-handed cutaway, the top will be towards you with the tail end to your right and the neck end to your left. Alrighty. Okay, I'm getting ready to do a cutaway bending. Now you notice I have all of these little setup blocks here. Notice how this is level to that horn. That is there for a reason, and you'll see that in the bending process. The bending stack is going to be just the same as everything else. Slat, wet paper, wood, wet paper, slat, heating blanket on top. The one thing that you do want to be aware of is when you look at my cutaway design, when you look at the ram design, you can see there is an offset here on the ram. That is because not all cutaways are identical, so that offset is going to allow you to fit this little curvature a little bit better than others. So the bending is going to be the exact same, except for I am going to do the lower bout, the waist, and then the cutaway. Remember, we're doing two bends at once. So you're going to see that and how that works shortly. Okay, we're set up to do a cutaway bend. Now the cutaway bend is going to be very similar to the standard bend, except we're going to add another piece of equipment. We're going to install cutaway ram. Now the cutaway ram is going to be doing the lower or the upper bout, and my offset here, I don't know if you can see it, for this machine will go this way. So you use the offset to your benefit for the pattern that you are using. So I'm going to install this, and you can see where I have my hole. So this comes in, that goes down into here, and we can set this up, and it goes. Goes through the other side, and then captures the cutaway ram. So now that cutaway ram is affixed to the machine. We're going to be doing these two bends at once. So now that I'm set up to do this, I use my little stick, and that's going to tell me where the end of my piece of wood is. So this has to come forward just a touch. Remember, when you do a cutaway, you're trimming the block, and I like to use my standard side to come over to the corner. So I'm in the machine, I'm turning it on, full power, setting the waist just a little bit to keep things from wiggling. My thermometer is set between the top slat and underneath the blanket, and it is set to Fahrenheit, not centigrade. All right, put my springs on, bump, and again, we should be done bending in just a few minutes. I am going to throw my little weight on here. If you hear that fall, you know that the wood is ready to bend. So that's what we're getting ready to do, and as soon as I'm hot enough, I'm going to bend. So we're now at 140, and the temperature is coming up rather quickly. Surprisingly, this figured Torrified Maple bends a lot easier than I was expecting. I was expecting it to be a little bit more problematic. So the temperature is working its way through the stack. Maple usually bends fairly easily. It's not, and this torrification process doesn't seem to have changed that property of the wood. So as you can see, this is flexing very nicely. I do not just slam it down. I let the heat work its way through, and you can see I'm just walking her down. Now this is the largest radius bend. Okay, now I'm going to slowly start setting the waist. You see I go down a little bit and then I stop. I'm at 245 degrees. Give it a little bit more. I'm at 250 and I'm just about tight. I'm going to leave it just a little rise. I am now ready to bend the upper end. I'm at 270 degrees. I'm going to take a look at my wood, and I'm just giving it a little bit of a squirt. I'm using Windex, but watch how this slat will hook up on here, and we're going to do the two bends at once. And there we go. And once I start, I keep going. Now I'm not going to go whammy willy-nilly. And I'm kind of holding this a little bit to put it in the position I want it to go in. And there it goes. One cutaway. So you see how these slats keep this from flexing out? I'm on my pattern. There's my waist. It went down. I'm at 318 degrees and I set that to variable. And that's how you bend a cutaway. Now I'll let it cycle through the heat, cool down, and then I can take it out. Okay, we're all done and I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to show you there is a trick to taking out a cutaway. Most cutaways tend to break more upon removing them than actually bending. So, first thing I do, release this. I'm going to take just a couple of winds off of here. I release the waist. Now I remove the hold down. God gave us a belly for a reason. Now I can loosen this all the way out. Okay. Gently push forward and pull out the pinning bolt. There we go. Hold that up, let that spring back. Voila. One cutaway bending pattern. My shop to yours.